There's a meeting of the Mt.Kenya Foundation leaders, and also yesterday I saw Deputy President allied MPs saying that that meeting can be considered a meeting of the high and mighty, but all of it was a battle for Mount Kenya region because they're 7 million votes strong. Is that where the focus should be, considering you yourself are running for the head of state position?
Well, that's a very good question. Before I even talk about that, because I think this will be my concluding remarks also, because I'll have to rush, to revisit this issue, I totally agree with Senator Matangi. I totally agree with my good friend, Honorable Atandi, that politicians are not bad people. And I think lawyers should never be in any position to talk about the negative perception of other professions. You know what people think about lawyers and we politicians. I think it's all about service. But I also wanted to talk about just the reshuffle. It also shows there's a certain confidence in women leaders. And we've got two very bright leaders. We've got Monica Juma, we've got Dr. Kobia being given higher responsibilities. Because as we know in this country, women are less corrupt, women are more efficient, they are brighter, as we know. And so it's also something to say. It's not about people being removed. It's also an indication that when you give women power, they're able to do it well. And that's why we've got, and I'm very happy, we've got a Chief Justice who's a woman. We've got women rising up in the ranks in Kenya. And we need to support our daughters, our wives, our mothers to get to higher places, because when women are in power, we realize that the country is able to move forward. So it's a bright thing for us when we promote our women. When it comes to Mount Kenya, I am, as I said one time here, I'm quite popular in Mount Kenya myself because of my history with them and also the affinity and everything. And I went around Mount Kenya and I listened to them. And the reality is that William Ruto had captured for a long time the imagination of Mount Kenya. And somebody very high told me that the reason he captured the Mount Kenya mentality is because there was nobody else in the race. It's like running a marathon of 10,000 kilometers, so people think you're the best. But now we're seeing other people come in. Now, he's got this, I don't know what you call it, the Hasara narrative. Is it a Hasara narrative? Of talking about the bottom down and lifting people up and, that talk. And then we've got now Raila Amolo Odinga, who is a very, very good leader, who's been there, who's tried and tested, who is also coming in and trying to tell people that this race is going on. It's all just about William Ruto. We are other players in the field. I myself will be going back to the Mount Kenya basket to get the votes. But at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, is it just about getting a vote of a bloc in Central Province of people who want changes in their lives, or is it waging the tribal card? And we ask ourselves, will we be able to grow in our politics to get away from this issue where we can be able to move forward? And then also the question that I have to ask, and I'm asking because I'm an interested party, is that I have a friend of mine who works for Pfizer in the US. And my friend works at the end of the line, whereby it's a very, very important place whereby she's able to decide, or in that department decide how long a drug will need to be on the shelf before it is rendered expired, And we have to ask ourselves, when we look at our politics and the way we politics and the place in our politics, should we have a stamp and say, yes, you've served as well, but this brand of politics is expired and it is time to move on, Maybe it is time to think about the science of biotechnology. We leave our Kenyan DNA of Ujinga biotechnology and be able to move on. So that's my take when it comes to the Mount Kenya issue. Yeah. And finally, I used to say that, got my running mate there, Matangi, and our potential Attorney General and others. They say that at the end of the day, we are a great country and Kenyans are crying out for change. A lot of the voters, majority of voters will be voting in 2022 will be young people. And these are young people who do not know about historical injustices. People are thinking about, why am I hungry today? Why am I jobless today? What do they want? They want somebody who can show them the future, a better future than what they have. They don't want to be lied to with stories. They want to be lied to with concepts that do not work. Wanataka mambo fresh. And that's where some of us will come in And I want to tell people that let us not start making conclusions now. There will be time enough to make conclusions, but Kenya is a great country, and we should be able to band together to make it even better.
Yeah. Governor, I know you have to leave, but can you spare a minute just to talk about the issue of integrity? Opio Wandai, Member of Parliament, there wants this, any person who's been mentioned in any graft charged, actually, not to run for office. And then also, as you speak about that, you also make your closing remarks as well on this same issue.
Well, I think it's that issue of integrity is critical. You know, our country has run away corruption and everything, but yet we are still a country of law and order, because you can be accused, and it has happened. I was accused and of doing things. I was not charged, but people came up with accusations so as to render me out because of politics. And so we still have to have a system whereby you have to have been found guilty. If you've been found guilty and you have failed the integrity test, then you should not be able to vie for political office, maybe for 10 years. You cannot block people forever, maybe for 2 terms, you say. But it is critical for us to send the message that integrity is very important, but you can't just lock out everybody. So I disagree that if you've been mentioned or if you've been charged, they should be locked out. It should be difficult, but you can be charged, you go through and you found out that you're actually 100% innocent and you are sacrificed politically because of that. So the rule of law has to be able to be seen to be carrying the day. But what is important is what I've said over and over again, and it is what Maendeleo Chapchap pushes for. Let criminal charges on corruption start and end within 6 months. So that if somebody is accused today or tomorrow or next month, even before 2022 elections, they've already been cleared. But the problem is that things take on forever, and they go on forever. My closing remarks are to say that, I've been looking at the system of the country where we are today. We've got rampant unemployment. We've got the hunger that is going on. We've got Uhuru trying to fix everything. But I met some people the other day, and they were worried about what will happen in 2022. Are we going back to the year of 2007, where there is very heavy polarization? Mtu wetu na mtu wenu. We need to have a country where we can have good politics based on ideas, not based on visions. And so I hope and I call upon Kenyans that as we go forward, let us tone down the fighting spirit. Let us talk hope. Let us, let us show people that it can be better. And I call people to start looking at the political leaders who are there and deciding that we want change in our country. And asking ourselves, are these players who are there right now, are they effective to give us change? And if they are, who is better at changing our country from the status quo to something better for the future of this country?
All right.
I wish you all a wonderful day, and God bless you.
Thanks, Governor. Travel safe. I hope to see you again next week when you return, all right?
Where is my running mate going?
He's still there.
You did not share. You did not share your itinerary with me, so that I know where we are looking for votes.
Campaign.
Your running mate wants to know where you're going to look for votes now.
But anyway, just to wish you well, and wherever you go, may you garner as many votes as you can for the winning team.
All right. Thanks, Governor. Have a safe trip. So let's come back to this issue of Mount Kenya. And Atandi, I'll start with you. In fact, it's Irungu Kangata who said that in that meeting, hakuona mama mboga, hakuona mtu wa boda boda. Apparently, it was a meeting of the high and mighty. And the deputy president also said that hata hao pia wakikutana na mama mboga na watu wa boda boda, don't say it is a class war.
So Trevor, there will be many meetings that will happen with different groups of people. You cannot say that if I call a meeting between myself and Omatangi, then I must call the Attorney General to be in that meeting. I think that meeting which happened was purely for the members of that foundation. And I think I don't know the details, maybe Omatangi will tell us, but I suspect that that foundation is not for everybody. It's for those people. And for the sake of campaigns, I think Baba will engage everybody, and I think he's been doing so. There's something which I wanted to say. There was, there was a perception which was created that Mount Kenya was not accessible for any other candidate other than the DP. And I think that was done, that has been done over the years, especially after the handshake, by the team that is working with Deputy President. And they've been doing this by continuous promotion of politics of hate. Because even if you see the kind of speeches that are made in Mount Kenya, when the DP visit, they are completely different from what they say in other regions. Even yesterday, as late as yesterday, you had Senator Kangata saying in a funeral in Nyeri, I think the father of the speaker was being buried yesterday.
Yes, Kaguta.
And imagine he was saying that since the handshake, Kikuyus have been suffering since the handshake, and that people have been arrested, the cost of fuel has gone up, so they are actually trying to persuade people, still persuade people that that Raila is actually, a very, very bad person. And this is really continuous politics of hate speech. This is something which has been going on. And I said at some point that it is not fair and it is not possible to block a region from listening to other presidential candidates, because that is what they have been trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think what happened recently when Baba was able to climb the mountain in just a few hours is a sign that, the Mount Kenya people are ready to listen to any other presidential candidate. Because you cannot block a region. Mount Kenya is a very significant region in terms of population numbers, in terms of the resources that are there, the people who are there, the economy of this country. You cannot talk about the economy of this country and ignore the people of Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
So this is a region that must listen to all presidential candidates. And again, they are not people who will be, sold. Yeah. The kind of politics that is being sold there. You cannot lie to them, because I think what has been going on is people have been lying to them that so-and-so is bad, so-and-so is black. So this is something that we are happy is finally coming to an end.
Okay.
And Baba was able to climb the mountain. Okay. And I told somebody in Parliament yesterday that you don't climb the mountain using a plane. You won't survive. Okay. Because the person who was there earlier used a plane to climb the mountain. Okay. As we are climbing the mountain properly. Yeah, so thank you. So I think that is really the issue. Okay. And Baba will engage everybody in Mount Kenya. Okay. He will engage the youth in the informal businesses, and he has been doing that. He will engage the youth in the border sector. Yeah. He will engage the mamambogas. Because I told somebody that, when this meeting was going on, there are a lot of criticism that, the team that is there cannot help the poor, Yeah. And I asked somebody, between William Ruto and for instance, Munga of Equity Bank, who has a better solution for Mamboga? And I didn't get an answer, because I think Munga has a better solution for the poor than the deputy president, because he has actually done it. Equity is one of the transformative institutions that we have had in this country. Access to credit, things like wings to fly. These are things that touch on the poor directly. So I think that we need to really isolate politics from some of these things that are happening. Okay. These are technocrats, businessmen who are having a lot of impact on the community, and they're doing it across the country, not just in the Mount Kenya region.
Omari, what do you think? Is that the deciding block, the Mount Kenya region? Because everybody seems to be trying to outdo themselves, and who is the kingpin in Mount Kenya?
Trevor, the right to associate, as Honorable Tandi puts it,
according to human rights,
is that Baba has a right to meet everybody. Yeah. Sell his ideas. William Ruto has a right to meet everybody. Yeah. Sell his ideas. The deputy president seated potential deputy president, and the one who was just left, Governor Mutua. They have a right to sell their ideas. I am very happy that this country is now accepting that we need to discuss, sell your ideas. If people agree with you, they vote for you. Yeah. In Mount Kenya region, there are 4 categories of blocks. One, there is a block of the guys who have nothing. What William Ruto has been bundling, calling them hustlers. Yeah. The non-entities who have nothing. That is a serious block in Mount Kenya region that they feel they need to be addressed, and Baba and William Ruto should address to those jobless girls and boys. I teach them at Catholic University. They graduate, they have no jobs. Then they carry banners all over saying, I'm jobless. That group should be looked at.
Yeah.
That will form almost 60% of the voting bloc come 2022. The second bloc is a group who are academicians and political analysts, the likes of people who have a serious following in Facebook.
Yeah.
The likes of Mother Karua, the likes of Moses Kuria, the likes of Kanini Kega, the likes of all those people. They will always, Peter Kenneth and the others, they will appear to control the voters, but they don't have any constituency. They are themselves and the media. That group constitute around 5% of the votes in Mt.Kenya region. So really they will not have any impact between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. The third group is a group of hustlers, born hustlers, grew up to be the owners of industry in this country. The group that you saw at Serena, those are people who are not born with anything. They have fought their battles. They selected their economic battles very well, their business model, they own, they are who is who in this country. They have the resources, they have the connections, both locally and internationally. They will constitute around 20% of the votes in Mt.Kenya region because they will pump money. The likes of equity, as my good friend says. Then there is those born and entitled, the dynasties by blood, the pedigree. Those ones who will tell you it has been us. And you either talk to us or you don't, you cannot survive. The second group that I've just mentioned of the business people depend on this group. They call old money. So these are the people who have been in government all through. When I was talking about the changes at the Ministry of Energy, I was telling you that the independent power companies are owned by the last two groups. Those entitled, born by pedigree, and those ones who hustlers, who grew up from Muranga, and they control the country. So in my own view, William Ruto and Raila Odinga must develop messages that target all the groups. This election will be won under the Kenyan Constitution, 50+1. That one vote that will take you to State House can come from a poor hustler. It can come from these guys who are media savvy. It can come from the business community, or it can come from the dynasty, or these guys who have been born and bred up in that world. So in my own view, Mt.Kenya region is such a serious question. And you have seen all the politicians have forgotten about other regions, because the reality of the Mt.Kenya region votes has two angles. One, in terms of numbers, they have a terrain of numbers spread across the whole globe. Two, in terms of funding a presidential campaign, they will generate outside government circles almost 80% to run a serious presidential campaign. They own all the infrastructure for campaigns. So in my view, the two candidates might also be losing their focus. Kenya has over 44 tribes. Why the center at Mt.Kenya region? Are we likely to think of changing the constitution? Because now, if by birth some regions are becoming more important. I come from Kisii, Trevor, and we are not counted anywhere. Everybody now has become a spectator. Ndorobo is a spectator. Turkana is a spectator. Mt.Kenya has become a spectator. The theater of absurdity has gone to Mt.Kenya region. How do you think other Kenyans are going to feel with it? I totally agree with the Honorable Tandi. Baba climbed the mountain, but not with a helicopter. He climbed using his legs. Let him continue climbing. Let him continue talking. And Mount Kenya region, allow everybody to come.
Yeah.
It's only that I'm not interested in any political seat. The three analysts are saying I can only qualify to be in my region as a practitioner of law. Let this country tolerate each other.
Yeah.
Let us not go 207.
Yeah.
Let us agree that it is a Kenyan who is going to be the next president.
Yeah.
It can never be a foreigner.
Okay.
If it's Atandi or Wamatangi or Mutua, let it be sworn in. Okay. He'll serve for 5 years, then we go for another election.
All right. Wamatangi, I'm coming to you last because this is your area.
Yes.
This is your stronghold.
Right.
Are you, as the leaders, speaking the language of the people on the ground? Or are we simply just spectating and they've made up their mind, they know who they're dealing with?
Regions.
Trevor, I think two issues. One, I would have loved to speak to my running mate before he left. You know, he said a few things about women that we would have wanted to...
You can still address them.
to add to. But because he's gone, we can say them the next time when he's here, because I think he wanted to say good things, but he said them, you know, too nicely to one side and failed to appreciate that women are equally competent. He created the impression like, you know, we are on the lower side. I mean, what we would be saying is that women are equally good in all the things that we do.
Yeah.
But we'll have that conversation when he's here. Coming to this discussion about Baba in the mountain, and I agree, by the way, and I said as loudly as I'm saying here, yesterday and the day before, and all the time when he has been there, and I even told the people in Kiambu as he traversed Kiambu, we are open-handed, my brothers, to anyone who wants to come, and we want to tell Baba to come again and again, as the AG is saying. Let him continue to come.
Yeah.
And the only thing I may want to add, because we normally meet with him somewhere, you know, where we have common interests. So when he's coming to do a few things that I happen to be there, so we normally wave and say hi. And so, but I didn't see him yesterday. When I see him maybe today or tomorrow, I'll tell him that because I heard he said he's been to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
No, I know he went there, but it's likely he climbed one peak. And I want to encourage him to come again and climb to the highest. And then, you know, he'll get good experience. But it's a good thing that he came. And he came and talked to people, and people can now see for themselves who he is and the things he stands for. He can come again and again and again. He's been there, by the way, before. It's not the first time that he's come to Mount Kenya region. And we want to send that message to all. Even all the times when William Ruto has been coming there, the same thing. We've treated him well. When Musalia Mudavadi has come there, he's come to all those places. Kalonzo Musyoka can also come. And we will have our own internal dialogue ourselves. A few things I just would like to say. Maybe, Honorable Atandi, when you go to your meetings later, you could propose, because I don't advise directly, you know, to ODM, but you could also propose to them in your discussion that, yes, you see, as Baba is going around to places like Mount Kenya, let the same be seen, because a bad signal is sent, for example, when Jimmy Ojege comes to Baba's area and he's stoned. You know, then that sends a very wrong message. That, you know, Baba is preaching tolerance. He's coming to a region where people expect him to be treated badly, and he's treated well. And let that be reciprocated, because that is the culture of tolerance we want to build all over. And because Baba has said it himself, and I know him, I don't think he stands for that kind of leadership.
Yeah.
It is important to practice it. However, at the end of the day, we, the people of Mount Kenya, have our own set of needs, thoughts, and our packages to what we think we would want to negotiate with somebody who thinks well about us. And the first and prime of all of them is somebody who is not only willing, ready, but able to ensure that they put this country united, and we are able to be a part of that national community whereby we can enterprise. Most of us are business people and small farmers. And so what we want is a landscape within the entire country, where the country is united, where we are able to go from Nairobi to Turkana, to Mombasa, to all the other places, and do your business there, do your enterprise. Sell your vegetables in Mombasa and any other place without somebody coming to interfere with you, telling you you don't belong here because, as we have been told before, your teeth are brown, that you are hot, you're hot. I mean, those kind of things. You remember there was a time when we were told to lie low like envelopes and been victimized because our people are entrepreneurs. You find they've gone to that corner and our people are extremely friendly. So what we are saying is, somebody who will lead from the front and say for sure that they want to put this country at a pedestal that would call one of unity, one of equality and fairness for all, and free enterprise and free business, and encourage growth, give jobs to our youth. That's what we want to see this country be, and that's what would please the people of Mount Kenya. So if that is what these gentlemen want to sell to us, but then prove that this is what they also intend to do once they get into office, then I'm sure we would have something to talk about. But that does not mean that we are the only people in this country who are up for grabs. You know, I mean, if you want to unite the whole country, then the next thing, we want to see Baba in Western, or, he's been there. I want to see him in Ukambani, the other places, and then we can believe that he's for these people. Same thing, with all the others. So I think all said and done, we are not averse to any of them coming there. Probably the other issue that I may want to touch on briefly is what you asked Governor Mutua when he was leaving, on this talk about do we bar people from running for public office on account of
that after the break.
Oh, you want us to do that after the break?
But also still on the Mount Kenya issue, is the deputy president position an irreducible minimum, like some people from the region have said? Does the running mate of any serious presidential candidate have to come from that region?
Well, as it were, Trevor, if you're going to do a deal with any community, then you definitely must say this is what is in it for you. I believe that whoever wants to come and court the people of Mount Kenya would be telling them this is the kind of partnership we'd have with you, for us to be able to work together. And this is the kind of negotiation all the time that comes up when you are having political formations. And it is not good to pretend here that that doesn't happen. All the time, even when we were forming Jubilee, even when ODM itself were forming NASA and their Pentagon and so on. It is about negotiations because you are a widespread representation of communities and interests. Then that is what forms your national image. You'll be saying we have a history whereby there has been exclusion, seclusion, there has been marginalization, there has been discrimination as leadership evolves and transits. So remember, if you ask like the people of Mount Kenya, they can tell you incidents when they have been victimized for what they do. If you went and ask the people of Turkana, they'll tell you you've been marginalized. If you ask the people of the Lake region, they'll tell you you've been segregated. I mean, these are the interests that you want to see represented in that kind of negotiation. So you must tell the people of that region when you're coming, then what is it that you're saying we are going to be in partnership with you to do, and then what will be in it for us as you're looking at the other people. So I don't think that we want to say that it is necessarily that it is an irreducible minimum that we have to take the deputy president's position, because we could even take the president's position anyway. Yeah, I mean, this is a free democracy. That does not mean that because President Uhuru is from that region and he's exiting, that you can't have another president from that area. You can, by dint of our democracy.
There's also been talk that you are amongst the front runners. If you are approached today by any of the candidates, would you take the position?
Well, I've been approached. Let me be frank with you. I've been approached. And I have had discussions with quite a number of them who asked me, supposing we said this, supposing we said this, supposing we said this. And I'm saying I'm training my focus first on delivering the work that I have as a senator, as the majority whip, to ensure that the government of the president goes all the way until the end. He has his legacy well stamped and finishes his job. And we can get into the rest of politics from there.
All right. I have to take a quick break, but Atandi and Omari, I want to hear your views on this. Realistically speaking, 7 million strong votes from the Mount Kenya region. On the ground, isn't it the most logical thing that then the position of the deputy president or the running mate for whoever candidate who wants to win must then come from there?
Thank you, Trevor. Even before I get there, let me agree with Senator Wamatangi that Baba has not reached the peak of the mountain. He didn't reach. Remember, Baba has gone to the mountain officially for the first time to look for votes. Our protagonist, the DP, has been to Mount Kenya more than 500 times. So we know where the peak is, so we will get there. And I know Baba knows that. That is one. Two, the Mount Kenya, as I said, is a critical constituency in Kenya, both in terms of numbers, in terms of the economy, and many other factors. So when you are discussing national inclusivity, what we normally call Azimio la Umoja, we are aware that Azimio la Umoja is not feasible if we segregate this constituency. This constituency is very important. In fact, some people have been advising Baba that, you don't need to go to Mount Kenya. You just need to focus on your constituency. And Baba is focused. He's a nationalist. He's focused, and I think if you see his focus on this Azimio la Umoja thing, it is actually coming to, we are actually realizing it, because in the end we are seeing all Kenyans actually working together. So just like any other part of Kenya, Mount Kenya is very significant. They have a stake in this economy. They have a stake in this politics. And you cannot ignore them, because even when you were a president of Kenya and you want to count the number of MPs that will come from Mount Kenya, they can actually destabilize your government if you do not put them into consideration. So I think anybody who is going to seriously make a stab at the presidency in 2022 must, I think, put a very serious offer on the table for the region. And I think Baba is going to do that.
Okay.
And lastly, I wanted to comment on this issue of the bill by my colleague Opiyo Wandayi.
That's what we are coming from. We are coming to it after the break. It's a whole segment on its own.
Thank you.
Omari, on this same issue, is it obvious then that the running mate has to come?
Trevor,
yeah.
Please. He mentioned something on Jimmy Wanjigi, and I think he accused us. Let me just clarify that. that Jimmy Wanjigi visited our region to look for votes. And the first place he had a meeting was in Migori. And there was an unfortunate incident which happened there. And I want to say that with authority that incident was planned by our enemies, not ODM. Because he came to my constituency. Sia town is my constituency. And there was no incident. He held a meeting peacefully, and he went and did a rally. And, there was nothing. He went to Kisumu, Kondele. He wasn't attacked. In fact, if you are our political enemy in the region, you will never visit Kondele. But the fact that he went to Kondele and held his meetings there, so we are actually now the most tolerant constituency in Kenya. Okay. And even DP was in Kondele, he was in Migori. So we want a free country. And Jimmy Wanjigi has a right to look for votes within the ODM party. And he has also a right to visit any part of Kenya.
Well, I think I didn't want to take up the AG's time, but I just raised the matter because I think it's important that it doesn't send the wrong message.
Yes.
Because if you see even in the front page of the Daily Nation today, they're speaking something about it's talking about something about Wanjigi and a warning shot being fired at him for opening offices. That's a different line all the way. However,
this is media. This is media marketing.
However, so he's not been warned.
Yes. No. However, it can't be warned.
You see, because I raised the issue.
Yeah.
I understand precisely that those are two different paradigms. You know, on the one of being stoned in the public and being told not to open parallel offices.
Yeah.
Of course, that would be an issue that a party would take. You know, because I would generally agree that if in Jubilee we have an office in Nairobi and I'm an aspirant in Jubilee to run against the president who will be running in 2022, I cannot come and open parallel offices within. Maybe that would be an issue that can be addressed. You know, if you're doing it, do it within the framework of the party. But I was just raising it because, you see, buttressed with what is here on the front page and then what happened that time, it would give the impression that there is intolerance. And what we are saying, as politicians united as one, whichever following or persuasion you belong to, we have to send a clear message that the culture we will build for this country moving forward is one whereby we look at ourselves solely entirely as Kenyans. And there is no time we are going to entertain again, Trevor, that we would have any of us being stoned, being beaten up, being sabotaged just because you're perceived to come either from a certain region or because you belong to a certain persuasion. I think that we have to be united about.
Okay.
That's true.
Sorry, AG.
That's true, Trevor. And I want to say that the media, the nation, has done serious speculations on this story here about ODM firing warning shots at Wanjigi. Trevor, we have an issue. Right now, the ODM party is going through elections, grassroots elections. And when we go through grassroots elections, camps normally emerge because some people don't accept to have lost in the branch leadership. So in the past, we've had, even here, before I was elected, we had 2 ODM offices.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying if you call a chairman of ODM in a function, 2 people emerge. And everyone is running an office. So I think this decision by our Central Committee yesterday to give directions on this issue is wrong for the nation to speculate that the Central Committee meeting sat to discuss Wanjigi. I think this is not right. We are a party that is, actually a party that is orderly, and we need to put some of these things in order even as we go for elections. So I think this headline is alarmist, and it is a serious speculation.
Okay. Omari, now you have 2 things to talk about. There's the issue of the Mt.Kenya region, and then now there's the issue of ODM.
The question of our deputy president coming from Mt.Kenya region. Trevor, that is why some lawyers are called prominent lawyers. The question of competence is not tribe-based.
Yeah.
The question of who can deliver the mandate of a deputy president is not going to be where he's born, where he's coming from. This is a nationalist with clear objectives, with a vision to deliver for the whole country. And as I said, the second group are people demanding that the likes of the people who are meeting in Laikipia and saying that we must be given a deputy president's position.
Yeah.
Just because speculatively people are saying all Kikuyus, Merus, Embus, and the others will vote into one block. You cannot pick a region and say, me, I'm coming from Nyamira, so unless you appoint as the speaker's position of the Senate, we can't get it. So my position is, and I agree with the Honorable Matangi, that Mt.Kenya region is a critical region. But it's not entitled to the position of a deputy president. What I heard Akina Moses Kuria saying is a fallacy. Kenyans are laughing. That is the type of intolerance we are saying. If we are balkanizing the country and say, for us we need to be the chief of general staff, for us we need this position. The positions are available, for example, in cabinet, maximum are 19 or 24. How are you going to distribute those positions if everybody is walking and saying, I'm a tribal lord, I need for these my people. So my position is, as much as Mt.Kenya region is very, very, very critical in terms of population, it is not very critical in terms of one Mt.Kenya vote. My friend, Nyaga Gashau, I always engage Nyaga Gashau quite a lot of time. He tells you that the Merus, the Embus, the what are saying, no, we are not Mt.Kenya. We are the south, we are the eastern part of Mt.Kenya. When you talk with the likes of Mheshimiwa Ngujiri from Nakuru, he tells, and Kihika, they tell you, no. A cabinet position has never been issued to the Kikuyus in the diaspora. This is the time to ask. So those small fights within the community should not be elevated to be the national discussion. Let the president who decides to put his name in the ballot, get the best candidate for the deputy president, so that we do not have what we are seeing between my president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and his deputy William Ruto. Okay. This is purely because it was as this tribe give us this, as this tribe give us this. Okay. Number two, Senator Wamatangi has raised a very serious issue, and Honorable Atandi is just wishing off this perception. The nation puts it that yesterday, Mr. Odinga chaired a meeting of the Central Management Committee, which warned members of opening branches. When it is the presidential candidate sitting, chairing a meeting to deal with another contender, Wanjigi is competing with Baba. Wanjigi must have his own offices to run his campaigns until Wanjigi loses, because he cannot run from the campaign offices which are controlled, funded, paid for by Baba. They are all competitors. Joho will have his small offices to run campaigns. Senator Wamatangi battled with over 10 candidates in 2017. Each had his own office. But all these people were Jubilee candidates. So what we are telling, and Baba Atandi, please take this message. ODM has had a perception created by Jubilee, by PNU, that it was a party that was intolerant, it was a party that was trying to advocate for political violence. You now are part of the aristocracy. The people you saw at Serena, if you just make a loud noise, the Munga you have said, they'll walk away. Remove the perception that you are being intolerant to Wanjigi because he's challenging Baba. Even me, I might decide to challenge Baba, although I'll get 0 votes. Let me be allowed to challenge Baba. That is what Wamatangi is telling you. Don't climb the mountains while you are still slaughtering the children and chicken of the Mt.Kenya hereditary. Now, lastly, Trevor, the incident in Migori, where Wanjigi was stoned, is uncalled for. We have not had ODM from the top coming and condemning that act. Neither have we seen the director of public prosecution. Remember, nowadays Baba is government. Who has been arrested and be charged? Who has been arrested and be charged? So that you are now saying this was planned by your political nemesis, William Ruto. If indeed, I'm telling you for free, if that was planned by any of the henchmen of William Ruto, I could be in court, or lawyers could be in court defending them. Because William Ruto is no longer part and parcel to have the capacity to plan to stone Jimmy Wanjigi, who is in ODM and in the handshake. So what we are trying to say is that kindly, and I believe Honorable Atandi, please take this message to Baba, that let this perception not again occur. Okay. Let every Kenyan walk all over. Let people campaign. Let everybody's best qualification get him the job.
I'll give you a chance to respond. Atandi, I know you want to respond. I'll give you a chance to respond when you come back from the break. I have to take a quick break now. As you see, a lot of your feedback, we'll sample some of them when we come back. When you come back, we're talking about integrity, and also you wind up on that conversation on ODM firing a warning shot to Jimmy Wanjigi for opening offices. All right, see you in just a bit.